Oftentimes we aren't actually very secure in ourselves, in our lives, and so we have to put these images out just so other people will think we're perfect. Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Maria, and today we are talking about social media. I don't know why I said it like that, I'm sorry. I'm in a weird mood, like I think I've got a lot of energy from eating Easter eggs. Anyway, if you enjoyed today's video or enjoy my videos in general, consider subscribing down below, leaving a like, leaving a comment, and follow my socials, which are linked down below also. I upload every single Friday, so make sure you check back then. So I can't actually remember if I've spoken about this before. I did a video called The Selfie Game, but honestly I really can't remember what I said in that. This has just been really on my mind the past couple weeks and stuff. Initially what brought this on was my friend and I were talking about, like, she was kind of just going through a bit of a rough patch and like wasn't feeling great and stuff, and she said to me, she was like, I feel like I'm like in a ditch and I'm just looking like up and everyone else is fine and everyone's walking around and doing great and really thriving. And I said to her, I was like, now this is like kind of my analogy for social media. Basically I said, you're not watching everyone else walking around, you're watching holograms of everyone else walking around. Everyone else is in a ditch too. You can just see what they project out to the world. She was like, oh my gosh, like you should make a video on that, that's just so clever. I was like, thanks. Just toot my horn, get you some friends who just big you up. I'm joking. But it's such a tricky one because we're not gonna put our pure struggles out for everyone to see, but we're just quite slow to actually open up about what we're going through on social media. And I saw this TikTok and it was about makeup. It was about like how much actually goes into the process of making models look really perfect in final images for magazines. It just made me think of how much we do that with our lives. Like, we don't just airbrush our selfies, we literally airbrush our lives. Like, we get rid of the things that we don't really like the look of or we think people will reject and put out this clean, perfect, polished image of us out into the world. And obviously that's only going to be problematic because what that does is it creates this culture of comparison where we're looking at everyone else and we're like, well, they just have everything together, they're all sorted, they're all perfect, when realistically you actually don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I don't know where I heard this, but I'm pretty sure like the rates of suicide and stuff are higher than they've ever been before, which is kind of crazy to think about because it's like we're more connected than we've literally ever been, and yet the rates of mental health problems have gone up. I do think most of that is to do with the fact that many people are trying to attain this perfect, wonderful, unblemished life that just doesn't exist. Me and my friend were talking about this the other day actually, and we were talking about this couple who were YouTubing, got married after knowing each other for like 7 years, and then they divorced like a year later. It just kind of like shocks you. If you go on their videos, it seems like everything's like perfect, like their lives are sorted, they just have such a great relationship, they have so much fun, they go on so many adventures, they do so many cutesy videos, and then boom, out of nowhere, oh, we're separating. It's like, what? As a single person, a lot of the time, if you are single, or even if you're in a relationship, you will compare yourself to that and you'll be like, why can't I have that? Or if you are in a relationship, why isn't my relationship like that? Like, I just want that. And then another couple that comes to mind as well, they were like a TikTok couple, but I loved their videos. They were literally so cute and like it's just really cutesy and cute, and then boom, we're separating. You don't see all the like deep, you know, rooted stuff that's really hard and they have to struggle through and go through. You only see the good parts. I keep mentioning my friend, but we were talking about this again because she has a boyfriend and she was saying how she's trying to be more real on social media, or just kind of like not post as many photos. And we were saying how sometimes actually people who are probably more insecure overcompensate and put more photos out there, more perfect pictures out there, more perfect videos out there to kind of make themselves feel better. Like oftentimes we aren't actually very secure in ourselves, in our lives, and so we have to put these images out just so other people will think we're perfect. Personally, it wasn't probably until this year, no, last year rather, until I started feeling more secure in myself and just kind of happy putting out photos that aren't, you know, perfect, with me with my double chin and my spots and stuff, and putting photos that I actually wanted to put out. Before, like last year, I was just kind of, I would like taking the photos for my group because then I could delete all the ones where I looked ugly in and then send them out to everybody, which is, it's funny, but it's not funny. It's like, I look back and laugh, but really that's so sad that I have to go through those photos and be like, oh, I hate that, I look ugly in that, and so I'm not sending them out to my friends. And it's just like, what? Like, what do you mean? I used to not smile in photos with my teeth. I just was like, oh, they're so yellow. Like if I had a spot or something and was taking the photo, I'd try and like half of my face so you couldn't see, and it's just like, I literally have instances on my Instagram I could show you right now. Like I'll even put stuff on the screen. Like let's go through my Instagram. In this photo I took like 1,000,000 before finding the perfect one and actually putting it up. In this one I was really paranoid about the way I looked, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I just look disgusting, my nose looks all weird and my face looks all weird. In this one with my friends, I literally halved my face. Like you can see my face is cut off because I had a spot on my face. I was like, I don't want anybody seeing that. Like I look really gross and it's just grim. Definitely photoshopped on this photo. Probably couldn't tell you what I did, but I 100% did some airbrushing on that one. I was so nervous about this photo. I just didn't want to upload it because I was like, ugh, I look disgusting. I really don't like my nose side profile, and I don't think I ever will, but we vibe. It's my grandma's nose though, so I really can't complain. But also just the fact that my hair was up and everything, I was just like, I look disgusting. I think this photo was where I kind of started letting go a little bit, because that's from a pizza factory, and the fact that my hair was at back and everything, I was like, ew, I look disgusting, but I just kind of went with it. It's just such a stupid thing to get hung up on photos and like be worried about it. And from then on I kind of was just slowly getting better at like kind of, why do I keep saying kind of, accepting the way I looked and just being happy with myself. Like the first like photo that I was like definitely feeling, you know, great and stuff was this one, when I was talking about how we should hold off on filters. That was my most liked Instagram post actually, which is quite nice. It's quite good with social media though, because you can look back on like where you were, and I look back on my archive posts and stories and I'm just like, oh yeah, I remember when I felt like that, I remember when I did that. Sometimes I look back and I totally cringe, but most of the times I look back and I'm like, wow, like I've just changed so much. So yeah, I'm a firm believer it can be such a useful tool. I've made friends with people that I probably wouldn't have if I didn't have social media, which is so amazing to think about, but it is just something we really need to be careful about. So number one, stop comparing ourselves to people and like their airbrush lives. Like just remember, every time you open social media, everyone's leaving out the stuff they don't want you to see, and that's kind of just something we've got to accept, but it is something we have to be aware of. And I do think like if you find yourself really slipping into that trap of comparison, just taking a breather. We really need to normalize taking breaks from social media. Like I don't know why it's not a bigger thing. Like you can get so lost in social media, obviously everyone will know that, like TikTok, Instagram, you just get lost in all these posts and your For You page, and it's just crazy. Maybe just consider taking a breather once in a while. Stop the comparison. Maybe try and like be more real on Instagram if that's your thing. Like obviously I know some people it can be a bit weird, but like just put up what you want to put up the things you enjoy, put up the things you're doing. If social media is to connect, I want to connect with you, I want to see what you're doing, I want to see how your life's going. Like I don't care like if your interests are different to mine, like just share them with the world, like be different. And we need to really embrace that uniqueness, embrace that individuality, as well as that just try and be yourself in your photos and just be your authentic self, not your airbrush self. And remember to do things with intention. Like never put stuff up with the intention of trying to get attention or trying to make other people feel bad for not having as good a life as yours, and just try and be considerate of other people, I suppose. Like, is this actually helping anyone? Like, am I doing this because I want other people to be jealous? Am I doing this because I want other people to respect me and admire me? Just take a step back, just look at yourself, consider whether you do those things, because I would argue that if you are trying to do those things, then you're probably quite insecure and reliant on people for attention. So you kind of just need to break out of that, and that's not easy, but it's so worth it. Like imagine if social media was just gone for a day, it just completely crashed, everything crashed. Like how would you feel about yourself? How would you feel in your own skin? Sorry this video was a little bit jumbled and just kind of crazy, and I was just throwing points everywhere, but I hope it helped at least one of you, and if it did, let me know. Follow my socials down below. Thank you so much for watching. You're amazing, beautiful people. Peace out.